Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Michael Jobity, and I'll be hosting this live stream today, as well as the awards ceremony on the 7th and 8th of December at the Ealing Picture House Cinema in West London. Welcome to the 5th edition of the Miraband UK Film Awards, powered by the Miraband Company, founded by our festival director and founder, Jay Manari, who is also an independent writer, producer, and director. Member of Directors UK, nominated Filmmaker of the Month in June 2024 by My First Job in Film. The Miraband UK Film Awards, or MUFA, is a British BFI film fund-winning film festival listed on the British Council Festival Directory and London-based, focused on showcasing diversity in all-terrain movies, created despite all the challenges of an indie low-budget production. Miraband provides a spotlight for underrepresented, emerging, and experienced independent filmmakers through on-site networking events, live stream industry talks, online film courses, and most recently, an independent film fund launched to support the making of more independent short films. If you haven't done so yet, please check out our affordable festival tickets, just £16 for 2 days of screenings and panels, and don't miss the limited Career Pass tickets, which offer exclusive industry access. Subscribe to our art house-focused streaming platform, Stream Alter, to watch all the officially selected candidates of this edition and vote for your favorite, which will win the Best Film Audience Award. Let's get the ball rolling with our special guest. Please welcome Alec Goldberg from the United States, shortlisted for Best Documentary with their film Sitting in the Fire. We're also honored to have our esteemed juror, Thomas Deshays, on the live stream today. Sitting in the Fire examines the spillover effect of rehabilitation programs in prison on gun violence prevention in communities. Born and raised in Richmond, California to a single mother, Vaughn Miles fell into the dangers of his environment at an early age. After being sentenced to life in prison for murder at 20 years old, it took Vaughn Miles years before his transformation. Let's take a look.
And he asked us, how long did it take you to commit your crime? And for me, it was 2 seconds. 2 seconds to pull a gun from your hip to shoot. 2 seconds cost me 29 years to life. I'm from Richmond, California. Wasn't the best of neighborhoods.
5 people shot dead in 48 hours in Richmond.
Politicians are blasted for failing to show any leadership.
I don't know my father. I'm seeking that type of connection in the streets. You putting a gun on you every day and you putting a vest on, you're walking around emotionally charged with this energy, just waiting to let it loose. You told me that I wasn't gonna never be nobody. I ain't had nothing else better to do in life. So now I believe it too. I knew it was a possibility that I was gonna get killed. I knew it was a possibility that I was gonna go to jail every single day. Discovering who I became disgusted with it, what I saw. That's not who I was. And they call that just sitting in the fire. You tracking all of them emotions. All of the street stuff, those are transferable skills. Because it's gonna take that same toughness and start doing something different.
If I could stop another Vaughn from murdering somebody, then I did my job.
How you doing, Brother Vaughn?
Long day, but I'm good.
Every day above ground is a blessing.
The mission and purpose of the Office of Neighborhood Safety is to reduce and hopefully one day eliminate gun violence within the city of Richmond.
New approach to curbing street violence in one California city.
Formerly incarcerated individuals who turned their lives around, who could talk to our youth.
The work that folks do in prison deserve to be released is very unique, and who better to help a young person who's dealing with some of those same issues that they were dealing with before they went to prison.
You can't talk to somebody that sleep in the suburbs when we still in the trenches, somebody that can really relate.
Things that I experienced, I'm gonna pour that into them and let them know that they worth more than that. I did enough time for everybody.
Amazing. Love that trailer. Alec, it is a pleasure to have you on the live stream today. How are you doing?
I can't complain. Thanks for having me.
Of course, the pleasure is ours. So we're going to jumpstart into the Q&A session here. So my first question, we like to kind of dive into the background of making a film like this and the creative process, as well as filming and the production, post-production. So I guess starting with the production, obviously, of the film itself, maybe if you can walk us through some of the techniques you used, filming on site, and what kind of, basically how that linked to the story and the visuals that you want to portray in the film itself.
Yeah, so obviously the American penal system is a very, very covered subject matter. So we wanted to avoid a raising awareness approach and really focus on a solution-oriented documentary. and a lot of it covers this whole life of Von Miles. And so we utilize a lot of archival footage of people on the ground in the prison, as well as the city of Richmond. And then we incorporate reenactments to tell some of that story from the past. But we really wanted to avoid a true crime sensationalizing any of the violence, and avoid representing violence everywhere we can in this film, and really focus on the solutions and the programs and what's going on with these individuals internally.
Yeah, and I think that definitely comes through in the film. That's one of the things I noticed right away, like the focus on the solution. So I think you did a great job in capturing that. But I'll hand it over to Thomas. He's our documentary juror, if he has any questions for you.
Yes, of course. First of all, Alec, I want to tell you that I love the documentary. Really, it's great. I read that you didn't want to make a documentary about a program, but more about people. And that's what we feel very deeply in this documentary. It's very well done. No, I have many questions, but to pick one, it would be about the archives. Where are the archives come from? Because it comes from different sources, right?
Yeah, so there's two individuals in the film that are interviewed from the actual city, one of which is talking about that train story. And he worked for the city of Richmond for about 15 years in journalism and reporting on a lot of the things going on outside of the prison. And then the other individual, Doug Harris, he was actually also working for the city, but going into the prison and filming a lot of these things in San Quentin. And then the GRIT program within San Quentin has an archive of footage from their sessions throughout the years that they gave us access to.
Okay, great.
Great. I'll hand it over to Jay, too, if he has any questions for you.
Hi, Alec. Nice to meet you. Same as Thomas. It was really impressive documentary. And I like the approach that you more solution-driven than just awareness-driven, because there are a lot of films that try to raise awareness, and we see it on a daily basis. So it's very much important to be a bit more practical oriented, I guess, especially in this subject matter. And for when it comes down to your documentary, I'd like to know a little bit more of the making of. What was the most difficult thing to shoot or find archive oriented wise, and also if you can share a little bit about the budgeting and the scheduling of the project.
Yeah. So we started conceptualizing this during COVID, and actually came up because we wanted to film a short film about a program in San Quentin called Squires that was an alternative to the Scared Straight program. And they weren't doing it during COVID, but our contact said, well, I'd like to introduce you to Vaughn, who's a facilitator of that program while he was in there. And so the interview you see with Vaughn in the film was our preliminary interview we did just to get some information, and ended up being just a very emotional discourse that became the main interview we used in the film. And I think from getting that initial story, we just kind of kept building on where this pipeline took us. So rather than focusing on an individual program, it was really focusing on this pipeline that was from rehabilitation to reentry opportunities that are specifically utilizing the lived experience of these individuals from the street and the skills that they learned in the rehabilitation programs, addressing trauma, violent triggers, and trying to make the clearest line for someone to follow from how someone actually makes this change and then can help someone else avoid making the same mistakes they made. So I think the most difficult things were, obviously we had very limited access to getting into San Quentin, and we were luckily able to utilize a lot of their footage that they had over the years, and really capturing the parts of the story that were not present day that we're filming, but all of these things that happened the 25 years before we started filming. And we just lucked out that we were able to find people within the community that have been involved for decades in filming these things, and archival makes up a huge portion of the film. And but tracking down that archival, getting the rights to it, everything like that was definitely a challenge, but we lucked out at the end.
Cool. And budget-wise, you said it was.
What was the budget?
Yes.
We spent around 100,000 from over the course of about 3 years, from conceptualizing all the way through post.
Right. Thank you.
Great. Well, yeah, great question, and it's just inspiring too to see the message that you're creating with your film, and I'm sure you're sending through a positive impact for anyone who watches it. So it's great to see films that have that inspiration and create a positive impact on the world. So congratulations on that. But with that, we're kind of at the end of our live stream today. I just want to give a special thanks to our guest Alec and our juror Thomas, and obviously festival director Jay. Just some quick reminders for the audience listening. So festival passes are available for purchase on the Mirrorband and Ealing Picture House website. Career passes are limited and available at mirrorband.com. The red carpet reception, followed by the award ceremony, will take place at the Ealing Picture House Cinema on the 8th of December, which is Pansexual and Pan-Romantic Pride Day. This is when all the winners will be announced. And starting from the 7th of December, finalist films will be screened and available to stream on our platform for 5 weeks. This is where you'll have the chance to vote for your favorite for the Best Film Audience Award. How can you vote for your favorite? Well, it's super simple. Register on StreamAuteur and click Add to Favorites for the film you want to vote for. But with that, thank you again, Alec, and thank you, Jay Manari, our festival director, and our esteemed juror, Thomas Deshays. Hope you have a great day, and thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, you too. Bye.